Okay, guys, Kentucky heads back home after a nice win. But before we get into the Kentucky game, Texas A&M, let's talk a little bit about the bowl game. It was disappointing. There's no doubt about that. We had a good season, but the team just did not come out ready to play. Very disappointed with how Stoops. I know Georgia Tech may be the better team, okay? They may be the better team. But they're not as good. This is not the same team that beat Louisville. I'll put it to you like this. Kentucky did not play like they did against Louisville. Very disappointed in the bowl game, but still we got to a bowl game this year. We saw improvement, and it's just inexcusable, really. We did not show up. You know, I can accept losing, but when you don't really show up to play, you don't have the kids ready, that's a whole different story. So you made improvements this year, but you have to do better, Stoops. You have to do better. Pretty much stunk it up. So anyway, you know, let's go from that now. You know, we'll see what happens next year with football, but season's over. It was a positive season overall, but that last game was inexcusable, okay? So we get transition to that, people. Now we go to Texas A&M coming to Rupp Arena to play the greatest college basketball program of all time, the Kentucky Wildcats. I was very impressed with Kentucky's first half against Ole Miss. Very nice first half offensively. It's a beautiful thing to watch when Kentucky's getting it going. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when somebody gets us playing a half-court game. I do believe that will happen pretty soon. It may happen this game against Texas A&M. Who knows? But we got to play better defense. And Humphreys continues to disappoint me. You know, let's just talk about the few bad things. Willis, he played hard, got a lot of rebounds, but his shot is not there. He's a liability pretty much. If he can't score, you know, he really can't help you. He has to be able to score and hit that three-pointer, and he's just not doing that right now. So, you know, it's disappointing, but still, we scored 99 points that game. The defense is what really needs to step up for Kentucky. I am not a fan of the switching defense that Cal does. I don't like it. I just don't get it. He's done it for years. I've never really talked about it, but I don't like that switching defense. I mean, sometimes it's okay, but I wish Kentucky would just play zone all game one time just to see what it was like to see something different. Just play zone the whole game. But anyway, Monk played good. Bam is really coming into his own. Fox, Briscoe. We need to see more motor, in my opinion, still. But, you know, it's early in the season. We had a nice win against Ole Miss. The second half, we really struggled to score. Seemed like it was a different team. But overall, people, you really can't complain. It was a good road win for Kentucky after the last game where we got beat, of course. So, hey, it's Kentucky basketball. You know, I'm just really upset about that football game. Still, I'm glad we had a good season, of course, but it's still hard to... I know Georgia Tech they might be better, but they're not as much better as it looked. That even makes any sense. We're not as bad as we looked against Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech is nowhere near as good as we made them look. We made them look like they was unbelievable. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. So now, people, all focus will be on Kentucky basketball as we continue our quest for another national championship. I look forward to seeing Kentucky come out and just pretty much blow out Texas A&M. Texas A&M struggling. They got beat by Tennessee. And it's not going to get no easier for them. So, pretty much, Kentucky, I would say, a 20-plus point win against Texas A&M. So, like, subscribe, comment, as always. Go Big Blue, the greatest college basketball program of all time. God, we're great. The greatest ever.